G'day, mate. Welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Root, and welcome back to another FPL video. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at the most transferred out players and the most transferred in players. We're going to be looking at some tips, some differentials as well for your team. We'll go through goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, and forward. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you do subscribe, as it really does help me out. And smash a like on this video too if you do like it. And yeah, leave the comments below. Let's get into it.
Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game, where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.
So we'll kick it off with the goalkeepers, and the most transferred out goalkeeper this week with 77,000 transfers out is Andre Onana, the Man United goalkeeper. He does have a really good fixture though, Sheffield United away. 17.3% owned, and that is dropping rapidly. Man United do have Man City at home in their next fixture, so that could be why people are taking him out. And obviously, we all know Onana has made some absolute howlers in goal. He's literally been throwing the ball in the net the last few games. For me, as an Onana owner, I will be playing him this week. I think that is a good fixture, and I don't think Sheffield United have the firepower to break down even Man United with Onana in goal. So for me, I'm giving him one more chance. Obviously, he'll probably be taken out or wildcarded out in that Man United at home fixture. If you do have Turner, though, Turner has a really good fixture against Luton at home. So you could possibly play Turner if you do have Onana. Next up is Ramsdale. So again, one of the most transferred out players. So 54,000 transfers out. He is 4.8 million and he's about 10% owned. So we all know why he's been dropped. Raya is looking like to be the Arsenal's #1 goalkeeper. And for me, I would have taken him out weeks ago. You could potentially go to David Raya as a straight swap. But for me, there's a little bit too much. I guess it's a bit in the air. Yes, Raya is probably the #1, but I don't think it's worth that risk at the moment, especially with Arsenal's fixtures, Chelsea away and Newcastle away in the next three. For me, I would be going for someone like Sam Johnston, 4.5 million, 2.5% owned, so real differential. Yes, the next two fixtures are horrific. But like I said, if you do have Turner, Turner has Luton at home in the next game, so that is a good way to get around bringing in Sam Johnston. He has kept 4 clean sheets this season, and he is doing really, really well. Palace are the best defence in the league in terms of clean sheets, and Johnston is the highest scoring goalkeeper with 38 points. Another option could be Vicario if you do have the money. So Vicario is the third highest scoring goalkeeper in the game, so 36 points, only 2 behind Johnston. He's 5.1 million, so a little bit more expensive, but Spurs do have some good fixtures coming up. So Fulham at home, Palace away, Chelsea at home, Wolves away, Villa at home. For me, though, I think it's a little bit too much money. I would rather have Sam Johnston or maybe someone like Areola or Turner. But I completely understand why people are going for Vicario. It's a way into the Spurs defence. If you have other defensive options, so maybe you want Trippier, Cash, an Arsenal defender, and you can't really get Udogie or Pedro Porro. For me, though, I'd much rather spend the money on Udogie and Pedro Porro than Vicario, although he does keep a few saves, so he does make a few saves, so save points are going to look good for him. But for me, I think save the money, go for Sam Johnston if you are looking for a goalkeeper this week. So 630,000 transfers out. Stupinan is one of the most transferred out players this week. 5.1 million and probably going to drop before the end of the game, before game week 9. 33% owned. He does have Man City away, but he is injured. He's likely to be back around November, the 4th of November time, which is a time where Brighton's fixtures do look to improve. So they have Everton away, Sheffield United at home, and Forest away in the next 3 after that. So maybe he's a player that you can bring back in then. But for now, if you do own a Stupinan, yes, get him out of your team. There's no point having him in. He is going to be injured. Another injured player, he has a shoulder injury, looks like a dislocation, is Andrew Robertson. So Liverpool's fixtures do look really good, actually. So it was a shame that he did get injured if you do own him. A lot of people are looking at Tsimikas, the Greek left back that plays for Liverpool, as a replacement. For me, though, I'll probably stay away as it's a shoulder injury. Yes, it's important, but even if it's not 100%, Robertson could still play. So for me, I think he'll miss at least 2 game weeks. So you could go for Tsimikas if you are on a wild card and you still have a wild card in the next couple game weeks you're looking to play. But for me, yeah, take out Robertson, which is a shame as the fixtures do look good. A few options are Gabriel. Yes, I did say that Arsenal's fixtures are not the best, but he is someone that you could get in, and he's got a good fixture against Sheffield United at home in game week 10. He is kind of the cheapest way into that Arsenal defense, whereas uh, Zinchenko, Saliba, and Ben White are a little bit more. You could argue that he is not nailed as he missed the first 2 games of the season, but I think now Zinchenko is fit, we'll likely see Gabriel starting. If Zinchenko does get an injury, though, that could see Ben White coming to right centre back and Thomas Partey going to right back again. But for now, I think Gabriel um, is starting, and I think he will start in for the foreseeable future. It's just the fixtures that you need to take into consideration. Chelsea away, I'm not too worried about, but Newcastle, I think, will score against Arsenal. So if you have a good player for game week 11 where you can bench Gabriel, then yeah, go for Gabriel. Another player is Kufal, so 4.6 million. Only 2.2% own, a player that I have been recommending a lot over the last few game weeks. He's had 4 assists in the last 4 games, which is incredible. And then West Ham's fixtures haven't been that easy, to be honest. So they've had Newcastle at home, Sheffield United at home, Liverpool away, Man City away. So Newcastle, Liverpool, Man City in the last 4 games, and he's got 4 assists. For me, he's a player I'm looking to bring in, and especially with West Ham's fixtures over the next 4 to 5 game weeks, I think they look really, really good. So he has Villa away, obviously not the easiest game, but then Everton at home, Brentford away, Forest at home, Burnley away, Palace at home. So some really, really great fixtures there. And you've seen him get attacking returns, and I feel like he can get even more. So yeah, for me, if you are looking to bring in a defender this week, I probably would go for Kufal. So we'll start off with another injured player, a player that actually took out a couple of weeks ago, which was lucky, an injured Eze. So he's coming looking to be back around 11th of November, which is fine, but his fixtures actually are not great either. So even if he wasn't injured, you'd probably be looking to take him out. He's had 87 transfers out. For me, again, if you do own him, I would be taking him out. There's no way you can bench him for that period. It's like over a month. So it'll probably be after the next international break. And this is something to bear in mind if you do own Palace attackers, maybe Edouard or maybe even Elise if he's back soon. For me, I'd be taking that into consideration. That is a big influence on their team, a big influence on them going forward. However, saying that, I think it does benefit them defensively slightly. I think now they don't have that threat going forward. They might be a little more pragmatic in the way they approach games. So that is something to take into consideration. Another player a lot of people are taking out is Mbeumo. So a player that I'm sure a lot of us had started the season. And he started so well, 140 transfers, 140,000 transfers out this game week, and he has Burnley at home next. To me, that sounds a little bit odd, I'd say. He is a player that I do have in my team, and he is a potential transfer out for me, but I just can't see myself doing it with Burnley at home next. Yes, he hasn't done great the last few game weeks. He hasn't delivered since game week 4. So that's a blank in the last 4 game weeks. So for me, I completely understand that. If you are looking to transfer to someone else, though, a few budget options is his teammate, Jensen, 5.4 million, 2.4% owned. Like I said, they do have that Burnley at home fixture, then Chelsea away, then West Ham at home. But Brentford's fixtures do look actually pretty good coming up. So if you do want to go for the straight swap for the other Brentford midfielder, I think Jensen does look really, really good, especially for that price point. That does enable you to maybe get Salah, get some of the bigger hitters, and his returns this season has looked great. 3 goals, 2 assists. He's got 3 attacking returns in his last 3, so he is kind of going under the radar. So I'd definitely put him on your watch list and see how he does perform. Or if you want to switch from Eze to or Mbeumo to Jensen, then I think that's a good option. Another option is Anthony Gordon, so a player that was banned last week because he got 5 yellow cards, so there's no chance of him getting suspended again. Obviously, if he gets sent off, that's a different story. But he's got 6 attacking returns so far this season. He's only started 6 games, so 6 attacking returns in 6 games is pretty good. And Newcastle do have a couple great fixtures coming up. Crystal Palace at home, and Wolves away, and a real differential. So he looks to have that left spot nailed down now. Barnes is injured, and I can't really see anyone else kind of putting him up for a fight with that spot. So I do like the look of Gordon. And if you are taking out Eze or Bremo, I think Gordon is a great shout for this game week. So lastly, we have the forwards. So for the Nottingham Forest forward, Awani, 6.6 million, 4.5% owned. For me, people are taking him out because he is injured. Yes, I actually do like. It's just funny this is saying this, but I do like Forest fixtures going forward, especially the next two. So they have Luton at home, and then yes, they have Liverpool away, but we know one you can do it against Liverpool away. Then Villa at home, West Ham away, Brighton at home, Everton at home, Fulham away. So some really great fixtures apart from that Liverpool fixture, which can be tough, but I do fancy a one to score. But now that it's changed, he has got a groin injury. He's expected back the 5th of November. So he's going to miss at least 2 games. For me, I wouldn't be bringing him in. In terms of selling him, I probably would sell him. There are a few options on this list that I would sell him for. But first of all, we'll talk about Haaland. So a player that has been transferred out 137,000 times, which is incredible. His ownership has dropped down to 88%. With Brighton at home next, then Man United away, then Bournemouth at home. I think it's actually, I don't really understand it. Yes, you could say he's in bad form, but is he really in bad form? I'm not too sure. He's blanked in his last 2 games, fair enough, but he's got 8 goals this season and 1 assist. Like, it's been 8 games. If you're getting a goal a game, that is ridiculous still. Yes, it's a lot of money, but to buy that consistency, you can't buy it on this game, to be honest. If we had Harry Kane, then you could argue, okay, I'd rather save 2 million, save 1.5 million, go for Harry Kane, who can probably just about match Haaland. But we don't. We've got Salah, and we can afford both Salah and Haaland. So for me, with the amount of cheaper options there are that allows you to have Salah and Haaland, for me, don't be taking out Haaland. Just don't do it to yourself. Don't be thinking when he scores a hat trick at Old Trafford that, oh God, at least I've got Salah and Trent and Trippier. But you don't want that. You want Haaland in your team, and don't take him out. But in terms of one of your replacements, I like the look of Solanke. 2 great fixtures, and he's only 2.8% owned. So Wolves at home and Burnley at home. So some really, really great fixtures there. And for me, you kind of want to keep the forward spot at that price point. If you can't afford, obviously, Watkins, then I'd probably, or Alvarez, I'd probably keep the spot at that price point. Like I said, these fixtures, 2 home games in the next 3. And then after that, they have Newcastle at home, Sheffield United away, Villa at home, Palace away. So a mixed bag, but we know Solanke's on penalties. He can get goals against anyone. We've seen how great he did last season. And Bournemouth are a team where they've started the season horribly. They haven't won a game. They've had West Ham, Liverpool, Spurs, Brentford away, Chelsea, Brighton, Arsenal, Everton away. That's literally some of the hardest fixtures you can get. And he's got 4 attacking returns in that. So for me, last season, he did finish with 6 goals and 10 assists. This season, he's well on the way to get, matching that goal tally or even beating it. Assists, maybe not, but in terms of goal tally, I think he can beat that. And I do like the look of him for the next 2 fixtures. If you do have that slight extra money, I do like the look of Højlund. Rasmus Højlund, so the Man United forward. Yes, he hasn't returned in FPL, but Man United's fixtures do look quite good. And I'm a Rashford owner, and I will be keeping Rashford for this game week. So we just hope that, well, I guess if you're not a Man United fan, you don't really hope. But Man United fans hope, and Man United owners, player owners hope that the Man United assets can start to do well. Especially with this fixture. So Sheffield United away, yes, Man City at home is tough. Fulham away, Luton at home, Everton away. Then they've got Chelsea and Newcastle, but then they've got Bournemouth at home. So some really, really great fixtures in there. And I do like the look of Højlund. He scored goals in the Champions League already. He got 2 in their last game out against Galatasaray, which they lost, but he did get 2 goals. And I do like the look of him. I think he's going to be a good player for Man United, and I think he's going to get at least 10 goals this season, having missed probably the opening 7, 5, 6 games. So for me, if you do have that spare money, I would go up to to Rasmus Højlund for Man United. Let me know what you think of these options below. Are there any of the players that you are bringing in? Let me know below too. And please like this video. It really does help me out. And I really do appreciate every single one of you. And it is road to 1,000 subscribers now. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. It's completely free and it does really help me out. And yeah, good luck for the game week.